dudes, I've had a lot of questions about how I do my hair, what color dye I use, what I do for my haircut, if I have extensions, what extensions I use, and all of these different questions. And so I thought today I would do a definitive hairstyling video since I need to do my roots anyway. Let's get into it. Obviously, I'm a little busted right now because I'm about to do my roots, so mind your business and comment that I don't look busted, please. But first, let me address what I consider the elephant in the room that no one's probably thinking about but me, and that is that my old microblading is being in the process of being removed right now, so I understand. It's a weird color. They're a weird, look right now. So it's just a process. Trust the process. Eventually they'll be invisible and we'll go start fresh, okay? But for now, that's where we're at. We have light brown, yellow brows and black hair, but anyway, let's get into it. So I'll show you the things I use, I guess, effectively. The first, which is the most goated, and I'll put this on my Amazon list so that if you guys like it, you can just literally see the exact one I use because I got it from Amazon. But it's like a 3-way mirror thing so that I can see the back of my hair the whole time I'm working. So I'm gonna hang that on my door right here, like so. And I just hang it like face height-ish. Ish, okay. And then see it tri-folds out, if you will. And that is the best way to use it. And also, if you're confused about my getup, this is a wild top to be doing this video in, but I just always do my roots in a tank top so that when they're done, I can just slide it down as opposed to above my head, and not get dye all over it, but also in something I don't care if I get dye on. So we've got, PJ pants and a ratty old tank top on. So that explains the look. Okay. Next are the products. So, oh my God. Let me drop everything first, now that I've done that. So as far as dye, I use the Matrix So Color 1N, but this is a professional color, not to be annoying, but I've been using it for years. It's just what works for me. I am a licensed cosmetologist, so I get it from the beauty shop, like the licensed beauty shop, so. And then I use the Matrix 10 Volume Developer to develop said dye. And then yes, I do have 2 tracks of extensions, so I have 4 total tape-in extensions, which I'll show in a second. But the first thing I need to do is remove those because I'm gonna put them up a little bit higher. And to do that, I use, it's all covered in dye, but this is from Amazon. It's the Hair Shop Pro Extensions Tape-In Remover. So that'll be linked in my little Amazon as well if you guys do tape-in extensions at home or anything like that. I love this stuff. And then the tape that I use is the Y-Lite. This is also from Amazon. Y-Lite, Ye-Lite. Super blue double-sided tape. I only fuck with blue tape. I've used white tape before for tape and extensions and it doesn't last as long. I've literally brushed my hair and had an extension fall out with white tape and never with blue tape. So I don't even know if there's a difference or if it's just the brands or whatever, but blue tape all the way. Okay, so first we need to take my extensions out. So let me get the ponytail out of here. And I'm just gonna brush it out first. I use a black wet brush, just plain. She's all brushed up. I'm gonna section away my hair that's not directly in my extensions because it just makes it easier. So I can just kind of do it by feeling where my extensions start. And there it is. Okay. Okay, so I'll flip around so you can see, but I have, my extensions are getting really low because usually I do this every 3 weeks and it's been probably maybe 4, even 5. And that starts to feel really low for me. And then I really hate having any roots, so that starts to drive me crazy as well. But you'll be able to see, here is the grow out, and then there's my extensions. So I have one little sandwich of extensions here, and then underneath that one, I have another one. And then that's the rest of my hair. That's my hair. And then on the other side, I have the same thing. So I have one little sandwich of extensions, 2 little sandwiches of extensions. I say sandwich because it's a tape-in is effectively one little extension, and then you know, sandwich your real hair in between those extensions. So technically it's like 8 extension pieces in my hair, but it becomes 4 when they're sandwiched together, if that makes sense. Really great at over-explaining over here. So I don't like to wear gloves when I work with this because it's just easier to not. And it's like sensitive on your skin and stuff, so it's really not a big deal. But I'm gonna go in with my tape-in remover and just start like working it through the extensions and getting it in between the pieces. And honestly, because it's so grown out, they're probably gonna come out pretty easy. So the first thing I do is just kind of like saturate them right above the first 2, and then I'll put the hair out of the side for the other ones. And then I start going in the middle of them and just start pumping the stuff in, if that makes sense. Same thing over here. Okay, relax. This extension remover stuff always has like a pointed needle tip because they expect you to kind of work it between the extensions. See, I was able to get that to start separating. So now, as I pull it gently, I will saturate it with more solution. There goes navy. There we go. So there goes that one. And then I have this little drawer open right here with a towel covering it, so I can just kind of drape the extensions on there so they're out of the way. And then I'm actually gonna separate this one first before I remove the other one. There's that one. Now I'm just gonna pull from below. I don't know if it's saturated enough to fully pull out yet, because you don't want any of your real hair to come out, obviously. Some will shed just naturally, but you don't want to pull it out. This should be good. Wait, we did it, Joe. Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing for the rest of them, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I have all of the extensions I just took out right here, and what I'm gonna do is just peel the old tape off. I don't do it with gloves because the tape sticks to the gloves really bad, and it's easier to just do it with my nail. And so once I get a lift on the side, I can kind of like peel it. So I'm gonna peel all of the rest of these. All right, I'm gonna actually mix the color now. Let me just get my gloves on. God, Jesus Christ. I just washed my hands so they're like sticking to the inside. We're gonna get the color. Bunch at the top. And I use the full bottle. And then I just eyeball it because I'm just doing like a 1-to-1 ratio, and I've been doing it for years. So I just do the eyeball. And then I forgot my whisk, so I'm gonna grab that. And then I'm just gonna mix her up. Nate, you good? Okay, so I've just sectioned my hair. Oh, ow. Okay, so I've just sectioned my hair into 4. I didn't clip this one up because I'm about to do that section. I never really clipped that one up. The first thing I do is Aquaphor. It's all covered in dye because I use it, but a very, very like generous layer of Aquaphor all around my hairline and anywhere that the dye could accidentally like get on my skin. And it will protect my skin from getting stained. Oh God. Jesus Christ. Like very generous. Okay. I just do it around right here. I don't really care if my ears get stained or my like neck or whatever. It's just gonna happen. So I don't care enough to get Aquaphor all over it. So I'm gonna go ahead and start my roots. The first thing I do is do like the sections showing. So everywhere. So I line my hairline first, and then I will line all of the sections. I'm pretty sloppy with the dye because it's just black on black, so I don't really care. Okay, so now that I've like gotten the setup of all the sections, I'm just gonna do this first section, and then I'll do the other back section, and then I'll do the front sections. I take like bigger sections than I probably should. Because I'm doing it for the camera, I can't really see what I'm doing, but I'm just gonna, you know, get some dye, and then do the next section. Ow, fucking hell. Then do the next section, and go all the way down, like so. And then I'm gonna do that on the second part as well, and then I'll do this and this. So, I did this side, and I kind of just clipped it to the side, like gently, so it can just be out of the way. And then I'm gonna do the other side, but I'll show you, you know, that side. I think it's easier to film. And like I said, I'm pretty sloppy with it. Like when I was platinum and it was bleach that I was using, I had to be so precious about my sections, and they were super, super thin sections, and like I was putting it obviously just on the exact area of new growth and not on my existing like platinum at all. Like I was very precious about it. And now that it's black on black, like I'm literally, like when I'm done, I'll show you. I literally like rub my head in like it's shampoo just to like really saturate it. I do not care. Cause dye is not really that, it's not like very damaging. And this dye specifically is pretty gentle. So I'm really not worried about it. And yes, I should take smaller sections. These are pretty big sections. I try to get it done quickly. And that's why I rub it in at the end to make sure it's saturated. Now for the record, when I was doing hair, I would never have done a client like this. I would be very delicate and do a nice, like here, I'll do one correctly. This one will be correct. As far as I can see. I'd see way better with a client, but. Okay. Smaller section. Spread it out. Again, I can't see where my regrowth is and where my existing band is, so ignore that part, but I'd be able to see if it was on someone else's head. Okay, see? I'm capable of doing it well. Right here's where my extensions were, obviously, you just saw. It's like all crusty from the glue and the remover solution. So that's why my hair looks like that right now. It'll wash out. I'll just put it in the same section. And then we'll do the front. Now I am more precious about the sections in the front. A little more precious because it's the front of my head and it's like right in front of my face. It's funny because in beauty school, at least at my beauty school, we learned to do, like when you're coloring, like as opposed to bleaching, to do the front first and then the back second. And then when you're bleaching, we learned to do the back first and the front section second because the front is more like delicate hair. Ugh, my hair's stuck to it. But I always just do it back first because I'm used to it from when I was bleaching my hair. And I was bleaching my own hair for like 5 years of the 7 years that I was platinum, so it's just old habits die hard. Okay, I'm gonna get all of this done and then I'll be back. Okay, this looks ridiculous. This is the part that gets very chaotic because whatever dye is left, I literally am just gonna dump it like on various parts of my head and rub it in like shampoo. And this is what works for me, all right? It's just my process. So, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm scooping it into my hand, about half of what's left. And then I'm just gonna literally rub it in as much as I can. Here. And then I'm gonna try and move the front of my hair out of the way to get the back. Really rubbing and rubbing on the yellow leg here since I feel like I'm fully saturated. Get it all, like, just twist it up tightly like that. And then I'm gonna take my gloves off, holding my head forward so my hair doesn't fall down. And then I put that on. Shower cap. It's just so it doesn't drip around my house. It doesn't need the heat to process or anything like that, like bleach would, but it just helps me not make a mess of my house while I wait 30 minutes for it to process. Oh my god, I really never usually get the ends of my hair on accident when I'm doing my roots, and I did today, and it is all over me. So I'm going to use like an alcohol wipe and just wipe that off, but it will probably stain a little bit, but it is what it is. Okay guys, we're now in my guest bathroom because this is where I actually wash my extensions while I wait for my hair to process. The reason I do it in my guest bathroom, if you're curious, is because it has a bathtub and it's easier to do it like without holding a shower head. I can just run them under the bathtub, if that makes sense, and like hold the extensions without having to hold a shower head. And it's like it's like low to the ground instead of being tall. It's all just way easier. So this is actually Navy's bathroom. So the only person who showers in here is Navy takes baths in here, and my extensions get washed in here. So let's get on with it. I'm not gonna be able to talk while I do this because the water will be loud. So enjoy this weird view of me doing this. Okay, so now that those are washed, I just set them aside to dry, like air dry in the meantime on a towel. And once this is done processing, I'm obviously gonna wash my hair in the shower. I like to do 2 shampoos just to really get it clean and then condition. And as far as shampooing and conditioning, this is probably really obvious, but when you condition, you don't wanna put the conditioner on your roots. That's why a lot of people feel like their hair is always oily. So just a little helpful tip. And then the shampoo and conditioner I use is the Healthy Sexy Hair shampoo and conditioner. This is what it historically looks like, but they just rebranded. I obviously ran out of conditioner first, as you can tell, but they just rebranded to this Sexy Hair I Want Moisture conditioner. I haven't noticed a difference as far as quality. I have noticed that it smells really good now. It smelled great before, but I really like the smell even better now, so I'm happy with it. I like the rebrand. But I've been using this shampoo and conditioner for years, and as a dry hair person, I think it's really good. I think if you have like oily hair, then it probably wouldn't be the best because it is like focusing on dry hair and like just trying to give you moisture. But if you have dry hair, big fan. I just got out of the shower after washing my hair out and everything. And I'm going to quickly dry my bangs because I have a cowlick that wants them to be center parted really bad. So I'll show you how I avoid that. I use this. It's like this little blow dryer brush thing. Okay. And then I kind of just let them not get puffy by like while it's cooling down. Holding it right there. Right now, I actually don't need a bang trim. I just did one really recently, so they're actually pretty short. So I'm not gonna do a bang trim today, but I am gonna trim the rest of my hair. So I'll show you how I do my haircut. They look so silly when they're not styled. And the thing I actually had on my sink earlier was this like tray thing. It's like a clear tray that covers the sink. And I use that when I cut my hair so that it doesn't get anything in the sink. My hair's really thin, so this doesn't take long. I intentionally wear a light color while I do this so that I can see what I'm doing really well. So I have my little mirror set up again, my like 3-way mirror here. I am gonna give myself a teeny trim on the ends. My hair's really thin, so it's pretty easy. A lot of times what I'll do to trim the ends is just in the front, take a look at how much I want off. And then I try to do it all over the tray just to like contain it. And I'm just gonna trim a teeny bit off, like just dust the ends. Because I did just trim it last time, 3 weeks ago. But a regular trims are what keep your hair growing, so. We want healthy hair around here, and I wear extensions anyway, so mostly for thickness at this point. Okay. Now we're gonna line this up in the back. See what we can see. This is a ridiculous way to do this, but it works for me. It used to be way easier when my hair was short, but my hair has gotten pretty long in the years compared to how it used to be. When I was platinum, it was like, it wouldn't grow because it just break off because it was so damaged. And now that it's black, it grows pretty well. How do I look? Even enough. Doesn't need to be perfect. So that's what I'm cool with that. And then I'm going to just do my layers. So what I usually will do is the face framing pieces first. I'll do the face framing pieces first and just connect my bangs down all the way. I did pretty severe face framing pieces, so. And I'm just trimming right now, so it's not gonna be very severe of a haircut, but and I do intentionally make it messy because I like my hair to be imperfect and not like geometrically cut. I don't want it to look like a Supercuts cut. I want it to look like a Joan Jett moment. That's good. Just redoing the face framing. And then my bangs are literally so puffy right now. So then I take a bit of my bangs as a guide, and because I like really severe layers, I cut everything a little bit longer than my bangs. So it's been a minute since I cut my layers. You'll be able to see there's like a very slight V, like U shape. And that's what I'm going for. The lowest part of that U is gonna be the length of my bangs. And then the highest part is gonna be just kind of however I see fit. You can see my guide. There is my bangs. I'm gonna go to the side so I can see what I'm doing. I like it really imperfect, like I said, so with like jagged cuts. All right, and then because I like it to be imperfect, I take a big giant section of the whole top, bring that up, and use the part I just made as a guide for the shortest area. I'm gonna cut all of it a little bit, so I'm just gonna kind of chop that way to see what I'm doing. And then it's hard to show and see what I'm doing at the same time. So I do that to get a messy like first layer, and then I'm gonna go back in and clean it up a little bit. So what I do to connect them now, because that's only the top layer, is I'll grab the rest of this hair. I do really big sections because again, I like it imperfect. And start here in the front. And then in order to not cut the length off that I've just trimmed at the end, I'm gonna drop the ends out like this. And then I'm just gonna connect that top layer down here and just trim down this pretty like unpreciously, if you will, and just to like connect those pieces. I do like little baby cuts down the whole way and get that off. And then I'll grab like half of the section I just did, and then again, I'm excluding the bottom of my hair so the length is preserved down here. And I don't accidentally like layer length at the bottom because that's not a layer. And then we're going to very haphazardly choppy chop all the way down. so that they connect. And then I'm gonna do that around my whole head. Okay, so I just finished chopping all over. And see, it's subtle, but now I have, you know, choppiness all over. You can see it's like imperfect layers throughout everything. I'm gonna let my hair air dry just because I don't have anywhere to be right now, so I'm not in any rush to put the extensions back in, and I like to let it air dry when I can just to not damage it anymore. See, this is what we're working with. My length is so rough. My length is like okay, but because of the choppiness of my haircut and my hair just being thin in general, I have really, really thin, like straggly ends, and they're healthy. I trim them all the time. No splits. But they're just straggly because, you know, if it was all one length, it would probably be a good blunt end, but I don't like it like that. So it's easier for me to just throw in 2 layers of extensions and get like a nice long thick end and still keep my choppy hair. Okay, so it's the next day. I'm about to put my extensions back in. Everything's fully dry, hair's fully dry. I've parted my hair where I'm gonna put the first layer of extensions, the top layer of extensions, just to get everything out of the way. But I'm actually going to part it again right now where I'm gonna put the bottom layer of extensions. I just like to get everything out of the way first. So it's gonna be our first layer of extensions. So let's see, I'll show you what I'm doing with my extensions here. And these towels were black when I bought them, just over time in skincare products. They're like light navy now. Okay, let's lay these all out. Okay, get my tape. And then I'm just gonna take one of them off at a time. And then apply it. I'll show you what I'm doing. Like so. And I'm gonna do that to all of these real quick. Okay, hopefully this angle is good because I'm going to put them in now. So they all have tape on them. You have to remove the little like peels from them, obviously. And then I like to make sure that the middle, that I can still part my hair down the middle without extensions being in the way. So I'll always like find the middle of my hair and then part it. Pull it to the side and place. And I place it face down on the hair. And then what I'm going to do in a second is pull it up and place the other one underneath it. I find it's easier that way when I'm doing my own hair as opposed to like doing a client's or something. Which obviously I don't do anymore, but when I used to. So there's the first 2. And then it's pretty close to the edge. I did it a little too close over here, but that's all right. So I like to like lift it and see what hair comes with. And then lift that. And then I have a like third mirror, if you can believe it, where I'm gonna check the amount of hair that we're pinching. And then let's see. I'm pulling out this much hair. Double check that. So now I'm going to line up. I'm going to take the tape off first, obviously, but just to show, I'm going to line up that one to this, if that makes sense. And this I'm not going to be able to face the camera because it's already hard enough to do to yourself on the back of your head. I'm just going to push it, bring it down, pinch it, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Alright. I'm taking down the next section, and this is just the piece I had put up a second ago. So I'm gonna do the exact same thing, find the middle, so I'm gonna place it right there. Because ideally I'd have some space to like put in a ponytail right here. And lift. And also, I was never trained in tape-ins when I was doing hair, so I'm certainly not the end-all be-all on tape and extensions. This is just what I've found works for me. And then before I pinch it, I also will like run my hands through it to make sure it didn't catch any strays from over here or anything. Because every once in a while I've had like one of these hairs get caught in it. And if you go like that, you kind of pull it out before you pinch. It's probably... So yeah, compared to doing it to somebody else, it would be way more neat. That's just the nature of doing something on the back of your head yourself. Am I right? All right, I'm gonna pinch that. And then I'm about to go do, like, just touch my hair up a little bit so I can kind of throw it in a ponytail for somewhere I'm going right now. But when I do that, I'm gonna turn my straightener on and then, oh, a little knot. I'm gonna turn my straightener on, and then what I'm going to do is do, like, on each extension chunk, like each little sandwich, I'm gonna go and do a little, like, touch, 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 kind of like a 3-second, 2-second hold of the straightener on those pieces so that they can kind of like mold the tapes together. So that's the last step of the extensions, and then it's just styling from there. And you also, after tape-ins, don't want to wash your hair or get it wet or anything. They say 3 days. I try to wait 3 days, but I am a big clean freak, so a lot of times I'll only wait 2 days and it's fine, but depends. So we'll try to wait 3 days, but it's a good chance I'm gonna, in 2 days, wash my hair. Okay, I'm about to film a main channel video, but I need to do my hair, so I will show you how I do my hair. Basically I split. This is a cowlick. I always try. It's a fucking so cowlick right here. I always try to put it in the middle and it never works, but I'm gonna just like roughly split my hair down the middle and put 1/2 on either side and then brush it through. I use I believe it's a 1-inch barrel. This is a really old curling iron, you guys. You gotta forgive me for the iridescent vibe. And then I have it on 430 because I just, you know, it's really hot, but I just hold it for not that long. It's easier for me to hold it for not very long and, you know, just let go than it is to hold it for a super long time at a lower heat. So what I do is effectively, I'm going to take like a piece from the bottom. That is, goddamn. Sorry, I'm really particular about how big it is. Okay, about that wide. Okay, okay. And then what I do is wrap that one away from my face. And I like to start, oh, there's hair in my mouth. I like to start, like wrap it a few times and then leave a lot of it out so that the top remains curlier than the bottom. It drives me crazy when my curls like start to fall and the bottom is like still curled and the top is like flat. That drives me insane. So I'm gonna just hold, you can tell, I don't know if there's like a way to show, but you can tell there's like 1.5 inches at least to 2 inches out. I like to keep the ends pretty uncurled. Okay, and then I unwrap slowly. Like so. And then when I get to the top, I'll just drop it behind my head. So you can see that one's curled. And then I'm gonna do the next one about the same size. But this time I'm gonna face it, wrap it towards my face. Same process. And then you can see I'm starting to get some of my like layers because that last piece was pretty much all extensions. But when you get like the layers, you just gotta hold them together because, you know, otherwise, yeah. Okay, then I'm unwrapping. The extensions I'm wearing are from Amazon right now, but I was wearing the Bella Me tape-ins before, and those are the fucking good ones. So if you're looking for tape-ins and you have money to spare on the Bella Me's, those are the ones you should get. Okay, I'm doing about the same one last chunk below, and then I'm going away from the head. Okay, hold for a little. And and then unwrapping. And then you can tell I don't know if you could see, but I kind of pinch right there because that's where the next layer was starting. So I just don't want it to like fall out of the curl that I'm creating. If that makes sense. Like that just did. See how that just happened? That's what I was trying to avoid. I'm gonna fix it with a straightener though. So now when I get to ear and above, I start taking like more vertical chunks. I'm gonna do 3 chunks total. And I'm gonna start basically from my ear up and get this whole area like that. And that's gonna go towards my face, wrap towards my face. This is gonna be a messy wrap and a lot of my layers are gonna fall out, but I'm gonna come back in with a straightener in a minute and fix it. So I basically just get the bottom of it. Like you can see a ton of my layers just want to pop out of there. Okay, and then unwrap. Oop. And then split this in half. 2 more. This one, we're switching again, so it's gonna go away from my head. Face, I mean. And like you can see, I'm ignoring the fact that all these top layers are coming out, because like I said, we will come back for those. Okay, unwrapping. And last curling piece on this side is gonna be towards the face. I'm just switching on and off if that wasn't clear. And I do slightly twist it, as I maneuver the hair around, I like twist it a little bit just so that it can maintain the like layers together and the hair doesn't all fall out of itself, if that makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna do this now. Okay, I'm gonna do the exact same thing on this side, and then I'll come back in with a straightener and show you what I do there. Okay, so next, we have our straightener. And again, this straightener's from like 2014, so don't come for me on this style. This is just a regular cheese straightener. And my hair obviously is still in its little just curled curls. First thing I do is my bangs, just to feel like we're starting to come together. I kind of do it in like 3 pieces where I take the side and then I will just curl the side in like that. And I'll do the same thing too. I'll move this middle chunk out of the way. And then I'll do the same thing over here. That looks good. And then I take the middle chunk. Forehead reveal. The fucking fisheye is not doing me any favors. And then this I will have to fix a few times. I usually do redo my bangs a few different times before I like the way they come out. Yeah, I will. I didn't fuck with that one bit. I'll only do 1 piece at a time. Sometimes it comes to this. It's like not cooperating, so I'll just go the same way I did the sides, just go in like that. And then teeny bit. Yeah, it's better. I might come back and touch them up when I'm done with the rest of my hair, but we'll get to that in a second. I kind of need to see what it looks like when my hair's done. So what I will start with the straightener after the bangs is the ends, and I usually stand up for this. I have like a little hand mirror that I put right here, like a little travel mirror. That's how I do my makeup and my hair because I like to do it in my office. So let me just stand. And then I don't like the way that this one is like ending, so I'm gonna just kind of like curl it down. Nope, don't like that either. Move this out of the way. I'm basically just going for like a very loose continuation of the curl. Okay, so that's fine. And then I'm gonna adjust this piece. I kind of just go in and like get surgical with the ends. And then this end is good-ish. This one here, I'm just gonna straighten that last like bump. And then see where the like real hair meets the fake hair. I'm gonna straighten it out a little bit. And then this part, I'm gonna straighten the end a teeny bit, and not the end, but like just this last bump, so that it's a smoother transition from like curls to straight. And then I'm gonna do the same thing to most of these. So I like to take like the last bump of the curl, if that makes sense, like the last S, and kind of straighten it out so that it kind of has like a smoother transition into straightness. Conversion camp, am I right? Sometimes I have to like re-curl the end because it did like a weird thing like I just did. And I'll just take like like that, and then straighten it down. Not the tongue of focus and concentration. Okay, now let's do the same thing here. Now we can sit back down and do the top. So now I'm gonna do the top layer. And what I'm going to do, what I learned in boating school is take this first. I'm gonna do the same like three chunks that I did before, but I'm gonna make it opposite the one below it. So this one turned in, I'm gonna turn this one apart, but I'm gonna also do it with my straightener. So it sounds complicated, maybe, but I don't know if you guys know how to do like a straightener curl, but you just kind of like wrap it like that. And I like that it leaves the end out. This one totally flopped, but I like that it leaves the end out because I like a, you know, looser end anyway. Looser end? You're talking about your mom? Sorry. Sometimes you have to like grab it. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then wherever that ended, I take the next chunk of layer. And that one, you guessed it, gonna go in. It almost always needs to be done in two parts. Like that was all fine, but this part was not. That's fine, that's good. Then last one. Okay, so now the top is curled. And now we're gonna do the same thing to the other side. And my bangs are driving me crazy. Let me readjust this part. Oh yeah, just make it look like layer really quick. Let me just make sure it looks like complete another dog shit. I'm just trying to call someone. Okay, that's fine for now. Okay. There we go, there we go. Now we're somewhere. Now I'm just gonna brush it out and we should be good. Okay. Ends look good. Let's bring it to the back. Bring it back now. Okay, and then I'm gonna use one product really quick. Let me grab it. I'm gonna use a little bit of Bedhead After Party just to smooth it out so it doesn't look frizzy and dry, even though it is really dry. I love this stuff. It smells very nice. You didn't see, but it was probably like 2 peas amount. I don't know. I feel like hair products always measured in peas. And then I put it through just the ends, because if it goes on the roots, like I put it on the ends of this tiny hair too, but if I put it on the roots, it'll get all greasy and gross. My roots will feel like dirty. And then if you can believe it, I'm gonna brush my hair again. And after I wash my hands, because I don't like having hair product on my hands. There we are, I brushed it out, washed my hands. We're back. That's how it looks, that's how I like it. And then it usually lasts me like 3 days. Sometimes like I sleep on it in a way where it's just like the next day it's gone, so who knows, but hopefully you can see the back. Anyway, If you have any other questions that I didn't answer, please ask them, and I will answer them in the comments. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for being you.